Okay, and now we are live. This is our fourth session. Uh, this time we will have two interesting topics. One is Sitecore plus Azure, better together. And Vinicius will walk through all the Azure portal. So we'll show some concepts and advantage in getting your environment into the cloud. Um, then Richard will give us a session about data exchange framework, introduction and practical example. Richard will be covering this framework and demonstrating how it works with a real life example. I will let them introduce themselves. So please, Vinicius, let's start. And thank you for being here.
Okay, I should say thank you, Santiago, for the opportunity to speak in the Sitecore User Group Ecuador. So, let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen, Santiago and Richard?
Yep.
Yes.
And which one are you guys seeing, the presentation or the PowerPoint itself?
The presentation.
Presentation.
Okay, super. So I'm going to present Sitecore plus Azure better together. And here is our agenda for tonight. So I will be covering, let's say, 6 topics, starting with who I am. And let's get started with that. So my name is Vinicius Deschamps. I'm a system administrator at Vaultec. I have plus 10 years playing system administrator roles. I'm a Microsoft Certified Solutions Associate, and I have been awarded with the Sitecore MVP 2017 and for this year as well, 2018. So a quickly introduction to the cloud, but before doing that, I have a hands-on session later in this presentation, and I will explain a little bit more what is this process that I'm starting right now, because it took a little bit during my testing this afternoon. So let's get things started prior so we can get the final result at the end of the presentation. So bear with me to get these things going on. All right. Well, while I'm get prompt to, just a second, let me change screens here. So while I get prompt for the credentials, let me back to the presentation. So back to introduction to the cloud. I know that many of you already hear about the cloud. So cloud has different flavors. No matter the provider that you choose, you can find one, two, or more of those available for you. So infrastructure as a service is the most known flavor that you will find in cloud. So Azure, for example, offers infrastructure as a service in a way that you rent Azure IT resources like hardware, physical and virtual, network and storage space. Business needing to scale their IT environment see huge benefits to having infrastructure as a service as part of their IT strategy. And the second one, it's the platform as a service. And as you can see here, it englobes more than just infrastructure as a service and provides development tools, database management, and business analytics and operating systems. So as you can see here, infrastructure as a service just cover some pieces that you get advantage of. So that's a platform as a service. So it's a group of service that abstracts application infrastructure, OS, middleware, and configuration details. So this is the platform as a service. Software as a service englobes the whole group, let's say like that, and is an option where the software is owned, delivered, and managed by multiple or one or a single vendor. Currently, Sitecore does not provide the software as a service option, so be aware that Sitecore does not provide that for your application. And just to get a further information, how your responsibility is leading by the choose you make by going on-prem or choosing infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. So the blue squares are the customer, which means you or your company, and the grade ones are the Microsoft, in this case Azure. So as you can see here, when you go on-prem, everything it's on you. So all the responsibility relies on you, on your IT team, on your IT support to deliver all the projects you need. As further you go with the flavors of cloud, then you start to share some of the load with the provider, in this case, Microsoft Azure. So in the last option, as you can see, software as a service, you don't take care of anything. And I guess that's one of the things that Sitecore does not provide software as a service for now. But I would bet that in future that probably be an option for most part of the companies to get Sitecore in their environment. Okay, so now speaking a little bit about Azure. So in the past, so if you never have the opportunity to sign in Azure, this is how it looks like. So this is Microsoft Portal, and couple of months back in January, December 2017, you have two portals. The classic one and the resource manager. That's the one that it's being shown at this screen right now. So since January this year, Microsoft retired the classic portal, and now all you have it's the resource manager portal or the new version 2 of the portal. So everything you need is here, and everything you you need to configure your environment to set up your VMs, your platform as a service, or either your software as a service. It's provided by Azure Portal Resource Manager. Well, before I jump, let me check how are things with my VM briefly. Just a second. I will. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. And just you guys know, I'm starting the process to provisioning Sitecore as using platform as a service, using some templates that I will be speaking a little bit more in a couple minutes. So, okay, so the process has started, and let's get things going. Sorry about that, guys. So back to our presentation. So this is the Resource Manager portal, and to better understand about how things are done in Azure, I listed a couple of things here. So in Azure, in order to better sit your your environment, you can create resource groups. So resource groups, you classify your objects like virtual machines, web application, anything you need in a single resource group, for example, and all this resource group it's associated with a region. So I can have multiple things associated with a single resource group, but not the opposite. So each resource can only exist in a single in one resource group. So uh, let's say that I want to deploy a virtual machine in Ecuador, and Microsoft offer a South America data center, and I want to create a resource group that everything I start deploying in Ecuador will be there. So I create a resource group, name it wherever I want, let's say Ecuador resource group, and I group everything that will be in Ecuador data center over there. So all the resources at this group will share the same life cycle. So what that's mean? What this means is it means that if Azure runs a maintenance in that particular region, all your um, all your resource will be affected if the maintenance occurs for that specific resource. Um, a couple weeks ago, Microsoft released a patch update for for a malware for an attack, a vulnerability, and this happens a lot. If you have multiple VMs in a single resource group, all VMs will be affected. So keep in mind that the resource group are here to help you as well. Okay, so network security groups. So network security groups works like your firewall. So you can create either allowing or denying rules, and for both directions, so inbound and outbound. So you can disable the ability to navigate to specific websites, for example, or either to allow people from outside to access your HTTP port, for example. So network security groups can be associated to subnets, individual VMs, or individual networks attached to the VMs. Okay, so Traffic Manager is another great resource for Azure. So Traffic Manager usually you you have the usage for it to swap your traffic to a different data center, providing high availability and also for disaster recovery purposes. So it improves availability, improves responsiveness, and performs service maintenance without downtime. So if you have, for example, a content delivered node of Sitecore running in different regions, of course, with a load balancer as well in place, it's very easy to swap from one region to another and make the site available even during a maintenance, for example. And it's possible to combine on-prem and cloud-based application, and it's also an option to distribute the traffic. And another great thing that Azure provides you, it's Marketplace. So Marketplace have solutions you need, provision end-to-end solutions, and deploy with confidence. So let's say, for example, that I don't have a strong background in deploy a Solar server, but I need it up and running as soon as possible because I have a need for a client. So what I do, I go to the marketplace and do a search for Solar and see what Azure could offer for me. And just to let you guys know that Azure offer a Solar server in Linux distribution. So in a couple minutes, you will have a Solar server up and running without any effort uh, from your side. So with that in mind, you leave the Solar server running and you go learn as well. So that's a good feature for Azure. So why Sitecore plus Azure? So as you probably know, Sitecore is built on .NET, and the next versions are being um, changed a little bit from .NET to .NET Core. Please correct, guys, if I'm saying anything wrong by now. But it's built on .NET, and Microsoft has created .NET. So why not use Sitecore in Azure if the creator of the core language is Microsoft? So that's a good thing. So Windows, Microsoft environment, and Sitecore has everything to do, everything to match. So speed to market, happily they deploy Sitecore on Azure without worrying with IT. The all enterprise grade cloud, Microsoft Azure ensures Sitecore experience database is secure. So infinite scalability, always on, accident protection, pay as you go, and interoperability. So there's plenty of reasons to go with Sitecore in Azure, and you should be aware of that. And since Sitecore 9, Sitecore has also provided, actually said that every update for Sitecore 9 will also be ready for the cloud. And guys, also let me know at the Q&A part if I'm saying anything wrong by here. All right, so ways to provision Sitecore. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have marketplace. So as you can see here, over just a second. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a search field where I typed Sitecore Experience Cloud, and it bring me Sitecore Experience Cloud. So it's just a matter of a click and provide some sort of information what I want to accomplish with my Sitecore environment, and it's done. So it's just a matter of clicking, poking around, and wait for the Sitecore environment to be ready in Azure. The other way to do that, it's through Sitecore Azure Toolkit. So you download some configuration files where you change according to your need, and then you will be able to deploy using your desktop or a server that you have. And also there's other pieces that should be covered by here, but I will explain in the demonstration that is running in background. So with Azure Toolkit, I created, let's say, step-to-step what you should accomplish first. So you have to download Sitecore Azure Toolkit. Later, you have to download Sitecore topology according to your needs as well. And you also have to download a quick start templates from GitHub. These ones in particular, I saw some scripts in the internet that allows you to point to GitHub itself instead of downloading. But there's another, this is another topic, another discussion conversation, so we can download and do everything at our own machine. And one of the pieces is to get to upload Sitecore package to your Azure storage to make things easier for you. So before I jump to system administrator piece, let's see how things are going with our demonstration. So it's still deploying, no errors so far. So I think let me jump in and at the Azure portal. So this is how this is how Azure portal looks like. So let's get a look, further look in the resource group. So as you can see here, I have Sitecore topology, SUG Ecuador resource group, and Sitecore User Group Ecuador 2. That was my testing, and this is the actual environment running that I'm deploying while I speak. So as you can see here, I already have tons of stuffs here. So all database already in place. We have an app service already in place. We also have Azure Search here, and I guess it's still deploying. Let's see how things are going. So yeah, so it's been 10 minutes since I started the process. So seems that it's still deploying a couple things. Yeah, the infrastructure deploying 10 minutes. So based on my experience, this will take let's 20 minutes more. Let's cross our fingers to make things faster. But in the meantime, let me walk you through the things that I spoke a bit early on this topic. So I also mentioned network security groups. So this is a security group that it's created for my virtual machine. So as you can see here, there is inbound rules, outbound rules, and by here I can manage who has access to my environment. And let's jump to marketplace very quickly. So I just clicked on marketplace, and if I have interested in deploy a Sitecore. So see, I have Sitecore Experience Cloud here, and yeah, I want to create a new Sitecore Experience Cloud. Let's see what I'm asked to create that. So over here, I have the option to create a new resource group or use an existing. So let's create a new one, Sitecore Marketplace. Okay, and let's see what Sitecore settings offer for me. Okay, so as you can see here, I have options to go since update 8 to update 1 to the latest release, that's Sitecore 9 update 1. So let's say that my client's not up to date, and let's choose topology here, and the smallest size. Um, okay, I don't need any module by now, so just demonstrating you how to move forward. Okay. Well, apparently, Microsoft does not have a data center in Ecuador, so let's deploy in West Europe. Sorry about that, guys. So, and let's move forward and make our voice to Microsoft open a data center in Ecuador soon. All right, so Sitecore administrator password. So let's open. I don't have anything to super password 1. And let's confirm my super password 1. Okay, so I don't have a MongoDB by now, but let's see if I can get tricky here, saying that it's Mongo admin and my password at localhost 7, and I guess that's it. Let's see if it complains about anything. So SQL Server login. So SQL admin marketplace, and my super password again. My super password 1. And very important that you must provide proper license for this. So let's. And if you're not sure about your license being valid or not, please contact your Sitecore representative sales to solve any further question that you have. But usually, the Sitecore license works for Azure platform as well. Okay, it's complaining. Oh, just a second. Let's see. Okay, let's click next. Okay, so we have an important notice here. Marketplace cannot currently deploy to resource group that contains certain characters in their name. For example, underscore due to Microsoft naming. Okay, but our resource group does not have any like that. So let's click OK. And I guess if I have to review legal terms. And okay, that's fine. Create. And let's click OK and see what happens. So as you can see, I spend no more than 10 minutes poking around and providing information to provision a Sitecore app service in Azure. So if everything goes, it's okay with that. I believe that we should see a resource group being deployed. Okay, so we have a resource group here. And under this resource group, in the next minutes, I'll probably see everything that Marketplace is deploying behind the scenes. And just to give life to my example, if you go here and at Marketplace again and type Solar, you see that you have the option to deploy Solar. So another thing, it's I guess we have MongoDB. Yeah, so you have MongoDB 3.4 on Ubuntu, and you also have MongoDB with replication. So let's say that you don't have any background in setup MongoDB with replication set. So there you go. Okay, let's see how things going with our deployment. Okay, still deploying. Let's check if Marketplace has any improvement by now. Okay, and Sitecore Ecuador. Okay, still deploying. Nothing new so far. Okay, let's back to our presentation and get things done. So, oh, sorry. Just recall that I have to show you how do I get to this deployment process here. So, Sitecore provides Sitecore. Just a second, it's a bit slow. Okay, so if I go to Sitecore portal, I'm able to download Sitecore Platform 9 Update 1, and usually you go here and choose what topology match your need. So instead of download any of those here, you scroll down a little bit and you go to download options for Azure App Service. So in our case here, I have downloaded the XP single package, and just to better illustrate here, the single package contains 2 zip files that I have to upload them to our Sitecore storage, to Azure storage. So with that package uploaded, I'm able to point my JSON file to use during the process installation. So as I was mentioned here, so download Azure Toolkit. So first thing you have to do, it's look for Sitecore Azure Toolkit and download it. Okay, so Azure Toolkit, just to let you guys know, oops, Azure Toolkit. Let me extract again over here. So Azure Toolkit will have all the items you need to deploy Azure to the cloud. It's just a matter to execute a script in PowerShell that makes all the trick behind the scenes. you need. So what I did here, before the presentation, of course, I created some folder structure here called Ecuador to better illustrate the Sitecore User Group, and I created an Azure toolkit with everything that was in that zip file, and I have created. I have got from internet a PowerShell script, and also I put my license here because it's also needed, and also I downloaded from the Azure templates from this GitHub portal. So all these address I will share in the video description with Santiago, and he will add it to the description. So that will make your life a way easier. Okay, so what should I do then? So I got these scripts from a blog that I will share, of course, again later on in the description, and I change accordingly to my environment. So this is the Sitecore templates that the Sitecore toolkit where I should point. The template I pointed to GitHub, and I have choose my deployment ID, my resource group, SUG Ecuador, my license file, the certificate that I had to generate. Also, I got from internet from the same blog. I will share again. I will share later on. I have my subscription ID, a location, and there is the piece that I want to show you. So inside of the Azure templates, I have the Azure templates that I got from GitHub. It's splitted by versions and what you need to achieve. So if you want to deploy a Sitecore 9, you should use this folder here, and then you go with the XP single topology. That's fine. This is the JSON file that you have to use. So in my case, specific case here, I have used the Sitecore 901, and I modified those guys here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit inside of those parameters. So what I did, I have also provided the deployment ID, the location that I want to deploy, Sitecore admin password. Pretty much the same thing that I provided in Marketplace, I have to provide on this file here. So PowerShell will run the script, point to this JSON file, and deploy that to the Azure. And here's the package that I mentioned you guys that I have to upload to Azure. So what I have here, it's my storage in Azure, my blob container, and this is the package that I got from Azure, from Sitecore portal. So I have downloaded the package for XP single, and I have uploaded to my storage. So in as a tip, please download Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer. That makes your life way easier to upload and download things from the cloud. Okay, so if I have to show you over here in the Azure portal, you see that I created a storage called Sitecore topology files. Sorry, and under blobs, I have a container named Sitecore topology files. Doesn't not necessarily needs to be the same name as the storage. Just to illustrate that. And here's the two zip files that I got from Sitecore Azure package from the Sitecore portal. Okay, so packages are still running, and as you can see here, it just deployed the Xconnect, and it's now deploying Xconnect single instance. Is deploying that, and this status happening from 5 to 5 seconds. And let's see what time it's really started by here. So let's see how long we are waiting for this to complete. So it started at 8 p.m. So it's 11:34 at the server here. So let's move forward with with the presentation, and if you guys have any further question, let's solve those by the end of the presentation for sure. All right, so system administrator. So what the hell did I bring this topic to an Azure speak? So the reason it's oh, sorry about that. Have removed the just a second. So what do system administrators do all day? And I have brought joking. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Because that's pretty much what we do during daily basis. Oh, you have a problem with Sitecore? Did you try restart your VM or your application service or Azure at all? So it's not that serious. We also configure, manage, troubleshoot, monitor, fix every aspect of company's computer network and IT infrastructure. And fellow employees thinks he just surfs the internet and fix the printer. I know you guys are thinking about that. So no worries. I don't take that too serious. No, joking. I do. So what about the cloud? Will your job role disappear? So let me share something with you guys. So cloud cloud is a good thing for all system administrator because we are not here to just deal with daily basis things like printers. I'm not able to print. I'm not able to access a website. Why this website is blocked? So uh, the idea is to get system administrator to think efficiently, to get more money to the company for sure, as well as developers and probably other roles as well. But the cloud makes you think that your job role will disappear. Yes, it does, but I'm not getting stuck at any point. So I need to learn Azure, I need to learn Amazon, I need to learn Sitecore. So that's what I'm been doing. So in fact, cloud is a good thing. So um, the idea of not seeing the server definitely scares the shit out of me, for sure. But I have been working remotely from the data center since 2013 when I joined Vaultec, and I don't have any complaints regarding that. So please be aware that system administrator career could disappear, but for those that keep the ball running and learning new stuff, be aware that you guys don't have any risk at all. So cloud definitely is a good thing for companies that want Sitecore, for companies that want to move their environments. But again, system administrators are there to think efficiently and reduce the footprint of environments for sure. Okay, guys. Okay, so that's it for today for me. But before I ended up and jump to question and answer, let's quickly check our deployment again. Oh, not sure if I will be able to deliver that in proper time, but let's see how things goes. Sitecore User Group Ecuador. Okay, I guess we are near to the end. Okay, let's jump to question and answers, if any. Hope there are plenty of. So
Well, we'll have one from Andres Villenas, and he say, "Can I deploy a Sitecore site to an application service lot? Which constraint do I have?"
sorry, I'm not entirely sure if I understood correctly. So would you mind in repeat that?
Yeah, can I deploy a Sitecore site to an application service slot? Which constraint do you
O-
have?
Okay, you mean instead of deploying using Azure Toolkit or Marketplace, like create an app service and then you put all the files over there. Is that what you mean?
Azure App Service.
Yeah. So let's better illustrate that. So what I'm understanding is that you want to create a new app service, right? An app service, and you name it whatever you want. So Vinicius Deschamps, right? And instead of having anything behind the scenes here, like Sitecore files, you don't have anything. And then after you create a app services lot, you want to upload the Sitecore files to the application app service. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but that's a way good question that I never tried before. And to be fair with you, uh, well, thinking out loud here, I believe that you should be able to upload the files, but I'm not entirely sure if would work properly because there's probably more behind the scenes. But if you think that in the background of the app service you have a Windows running and an IaaS to serve your environment, because when we click here to create a new app service, it gives you the option if you want a Windows or Linux machine. So I would say, but again, I'm not entirely sure. I will definitely check that because it's a really good question. I would say that yes, it should work, but you probably face a struggle with some issues because the Sitecore package that you deploy on-prem probably it's a bit different from the one that you will deploy over applications app service in Azure. But good question though.
Okay. And what about pricing?
Pricing about application service. Okay, so Azure provides you an Azure calculator. Not sure if you guys are aware of it. Oh, sorry. Let me open in English. I was open in Portuguese. Just a second. US. Okay, so app service. So you have all options here with the. Are you guys seeing my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So you have all options that you can deploy in Azure over here, and you can get an estimative. So app service. So let's say that you want to deploy on East US, and here's a definition of the tier. So you have free, you have shared, you have basic, standard, and premium. So let's say standard. It's what I used to do for most production environment. And well, that's a good question regarding. Let's go to premium. Hmm. Mm, Let's assume that. Let's say that. No, it's not that much. Sorry. I guess. Oops. East. East US. Okay, so on East US, to have for a month, you would spend $292 month to have an S3 instance with 4 core and 7 gigs for a single instance. So if you have to replicate that for the whole Sitecore environment, of course you have um, you don't need such instance with 4 cores and 7 gigs for all XConnect reporting processing. So you could decrease a little bit. So if you think in clone those, let's say in terms of price, so you have like 6 or 7 app service plus database. So this is the price that you are going to pay for a single one, almost $300 per month. But probably Sitecore has has a minimum requirement for app service. I don't recall to see that, but they probably do. So I would go with this one as 3 for sure.
Okay, good recommendation. Okay,
Anything else?
yeah, I don't think we have any other question.
Okay, so let's see if okay, it's still finishing here. Okay, so I have deployed. I thought that that might would happen. So let me quickly share before pass the ball to Richard. So I have deployed before the user group start a Sitecore User Group Ecuador 2 resource group and all the stuff that I'm deploying now. So I have the SUG Ecuador 2 here app service. So the result that I was expecting to see was, as you can see here, just a quick note. So looks like standard one is small for a single, for the single XP single topology is the way to go. So Sitecore bring that during the deployment. So I didn't choose any of that. So standard one small would do the trick for Sitecore. Okay, so what I do see here, it's a Sitecore single instance app service, and as soon as I got it deployed, I have the ability to navigate over URL. So I should see a Sitecore the full view when you got it installed, as you probably see a lot already, and you have the ability to change DNS. You have the ability to add custom domains. You have the ability to add SSL settings, add certificates and things like that nature. So that was the what you should expect once you got this deployed. You also will see database here as well, and I know that the fact that it takes 40 near to 40 minutes to deploy, because that would what take it to deploy the SUG Ecuador 2 example. It's a way fast than you get the system administrator to run everything manually. I know that Sitecore 9 on-prem has improved a lot the installation, but still 40 minutes it's way fast than get someone to write down a script with all information you need and things of that nature, or spin up. Let's say that you are going to spin up a VM, so you also have the ability to spin up VMs with PowerShell, but it's way fast. And as you could see here at the calculator, good question I thought. So it's cheap as well. So well, I guess that's it, guys. If no further question, is there any, Santiago?
No, no more. Thank you
No.
very much, Vinicius. Yep.
So thank you again, Santiago, for the opportunity to speak at Sitecore User Group Ecuador. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I could answer your questions properly, and please reach me at one of the channels here. Please feel free to reach me out. And thanks again. Have a great night. And Richard, up to you.
Thank you.